So today we got a really sad news about the passing of Haru Urara, the absolutely sweetheart for the Umamusume community. What makes it sadder is Grass Wonder just passed away last month. It's literally been 1 month and a day, and we lost another beloved horse. She passed away at September 9 on 2:20 a.m. and the cause of death is colics. And it's basically the gas building up in the digestive system, and it could be very sudden, just like this case. And this is also how Winning Ticket passed away, so it's not that much of a rare case. In fact, on the same day, Wonder Acute also got the colics. We could lose him before he is introduced to the global server. And this is like how they treat the colics. They basically just hang the horse and you could see the cushion there. And this is during the operation. And right now he's looking okay. So this is basically what happened. On the morning of 8 September, she wasn't able to defecate it, and the caretakers thought this could be a problem and called a vet to treat her. We stayed by her side throughout the night, but at dawn her condition suddenly took a downturn and she passed away just like that. It is truly heartbreaking. In fact, I don't know where exactly I see it. When people ask how was Urara because of the passing of Grass Wonder, the caretaker jokingly says something like, "Oh, the Haru Urara's health condition is much better than mine, so she's totally fine." So actually 2 weeks ago, there was a reporter visiting the farm and Haru Urara was playing with the sand. And the reporter couldn't see the sign of old age from this horse. She walks and behaves like a young horse. She wasn't sick. She got good appetite. And it is hard for the reporter to believe that she just passed away today. And as compared to somebody like Grass Wonder, even though he's like 1 year older than Urara, but his teeth wasn't that good from being old age before he passed away. And the caretakers has to like chop his food like carrot and the grass into pieces so that Grass Wonder would be able to chew the food. So I would assume that she still eat a lot and probably doesn't have any teeth problem. And this is the quote from the Haru Urara's farm. Haru Urara was 29 years old. She was perfectly healthy until yesterday, and suddenly this happened. Like recently there's a lot of people visiting the farm just to see Urara, and not just from the Japanese but also from overseas. So it's truly a sad news when this happened. And it's because of the influence of the Umamusume. And don't forget that we got China server, Taiwan server, and the Korean server. People from these regions would visit the farm pretty often, but as soon as the EN version is out, it changed everything. They got so many reservations from US, from Philippines, and even from Poland, and 1/3 of the reservation are coming from the overseas. And as you can see that this is the location of the farm in the W place. Obviously she got tons of love from all over the world. I was about to say that it might be too much love, cause the amount of Urara here is like pretty crazy. It's almost like Silk Rush but in Urara looking from here. But ain't no amounts of love is too much for her. She also got a lot of donations from around the world, getting all the high quality grass. The organizer who sent the donated grass also paid a visit to the Haru Urara today. The card said, "Thank you for everything. I will love you forever." And this is like some of the photos when organizer visit the Haru Urara. You could even see the Haru Urara tag on the top left. She's looking totally healthy at the time. Yeah, this drawing actually got me cracks up a little bit. This one is also looking sweet. This one is also amazing. Haru Urara, winner in our heart. Yeah, in JP's side, there are also people like changed the text. In one of the concert, it basically said running, losing, and loving. Very well said. There's this story about the retirement of Haru Urara that a lot of people doesn't really know. She's actually owned by a club that named after her, Haru Urara no Kai, and there are 50 members and they are not recruiting for more. And the #1 rule of this club is they don't want to turn her into the commercial products. They just want her to live peacefully for the rest of her life. And the amounts of fund that's supported by these people is already plenty for her retirement. The farm is located in somewhere in the Chiba and it's called the Mazar Farm. I think Batman and Superman gonna like this place. I think a lot of people know by now that out of 113 races, she never won a single race throughout her career. But I did hear it from somewhere. She actually won a race for the retirement horse. And generally, these horses would be retired after like losing too many times, but somehow the coverage of Haru Urara made her one of the most popular horse at the time. So that's why it extended up to like 100 races. Just look at those doll of Haru Urara. People were simping over Haru Urara before the word simp is invented. She was already famous before she turned into the Umamusume. And the timing was pretty perfect. It was around 1998, and Japanese called it the restructure era. It basically means recession. There were massive amounts of Japanese getting laid off at the time. And somehow there were enough people project themselves into the Haru Urara. And somehow her story made her relatable to a lot of Japanese at the time. So that's why there were this outburst of Haru Urara's popularity, because it was that hard of a period. And people call her the star of losers, or some translated as the star of underdogs. And the original text is Makegumi no Hoshi. And the true meaning behind this is harder to capture in English. The meaning behind the star in Japanese and the English are very different. It's not about the fame, it's not about the spotlight, it's about the hope and the direction. Because people in the past used star as a canvas for the direction. So they were actually describing Haru Urara as the star to point out the past for those who were struggling in the hardest time of Japan. She symbolized the spirit. You should keep going and never gives up. It's not about the fame, it's not about the success, it's about clocking in and giving your best, just like Haru Urara. It's not about how many times you lose, it's about getting on the racetrack. And that encouraged countless amounts of Japanese at their hardest time. And for the superstitious reason, people would buy Haru Urara's ticket for the good lucks. Because when you are losing horse ticket, in Japanese it said ataranai. But when you are using this quote in different contexts like driving, it means your car is not gonna crash into anything. Therefore, you're avoiding the accident. So people buy her betting ticket as some kind of charm for their safety when they are driving. Whoever make money out of horse betting ticket probably never expect they're gonna make money out of losing horse. And at the peak of the Haru Urara's popularity, the legendary jockey at the time, Yutaka Take, was invited to race with Haru Urara. People were going hog wild over Haru Urara might win for the first time after 105 races. This was the closest thing for Haru Urara to win. It's amazing how people from 20 years ago are thinking exactly the same thing as we do. We all want her to win. They got 13,000 audience at the time just to watch Haru Urara race with this jockey. Cause this Take Yutaka is not any ordinary jockey. He rides some of the most famous horse that we all know and won some of the most critical race, like the Japan Cup with this special week. He also ride Air Groove, Deep Impact, Kitasan Black, Mejiro McQueen, Oguli Cap, Silent Suzuka, Smart Falcon, and Super Creek. And by the way, the jockey himself also makes an appearance in the Umamusume Season 1 Episode 5 on this particular scene. But of course, we know what's happened. She got the 10th place out of 11, and that was her 106th race. And the comment from the jockey was like, she's very easy to ride, but she's kind of slow. And I do believe that not a single soul in this planet could blame on this jockey. The audience even gives her a huge applause. Even the commentator said she tried her best. Jockey also tried his best.
拍手を送りましょう。
ね、感動しますね。
でもこれは粋な計らいですよね。
But I do think that Urara is really just doing her job. I don't think horse gonna think about being a role model for the human, but the courage that she brought to countless amounts of people is definitely real. So maybe somebody that deserves the applause the most is yourself for whatever that you are trying to work on. And I do think that a lot of people has a lot of hard time, but I do think that as long as we keep going back to the racetrack, things would get better. And I wish for the best for Urara on the other side, along with the other horses that pass away. Anyway, consider like and sub if you make it this far, and see ya guys.